Hey, beautiful. Welcome to the Not Another Mom podcast. It's time to take that mom hat off because this is after hours and I'm making you off the clock. This podcast is here to help you know your worth because damn girl, you're a goddess who deserves to live the life of your dreams. I'm your host, Lesley Sprague, and we talk everything from manifesting to motherhood. Yes, those little monkeys will still creep in here or there. Spirituality to girl talk with your besties, and from business to finding that balance in life. I'm here to remind you that you are worth it. Life gets to be easy for you, and your dreams really can come true. So grab your favorite glass of wine, craft beer, or if you're a whiskey and diet kind of girl, grab that and let's get this show on the road. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Not Just Another Mom podcast. I'm your host, Lesley Sprague. And happy freaking New Year. I know so many people are excited to be done with 2020 and let's move on to 2021. But before we do that, I did last year an absolutely amazing exercise with a guy by the name of Blake Fly, and you can find him on Instagram at Blake Fly, Fly, and this workshop was absolutely incredible because no matter what kind of year you think you had, I guarantee it's gonna blow you away when you actually dig in and look back on what that year was for you. So we are kind of doing a little bit of a year in review on this podcast episode. I've got a little workbook already done up. If you want to download it, print it out, you're more than welcome to. Or you can follow along in a notebook, but this is kind of like a working podcast. So pause when you need a little bit of time to jot things down, but otherwise we're going to dive in here. Okay, first off, we are going to a lot of people talk about what's our visions for 2021, and we're always looking forwards, right? And I 100% agree with that, but at the same time, we need to take a look back so that we can be reminded how far we came in this last year. So we're actually going to do it a little bit backwards, and actually, I think Blake runs these workshops all the time. So if you guys find this really interesting, I encourage you to go check him out. And I'm going to leave his name in the handle below. But yeah, so what I would like you to do is to get out a sheet of paper, and again, I've got a little workbook that I'm going to include, but if you want to just do it in your workbook, divide your sheet, vertically down the middle in half, and then make 6 boxes on your page on each side. So you're going to kind of have 2 columns with 6 rows across, if that makes sense. And I want you to write January, February, all the way to December in each of the boxes. So write January in one, February in another, and all the way through into December. Now, from here, what you're going to do is you are going to take a look at the events that happen for you for each month. And I want you to not be judgmental as to whether or not these events are good or they're bad. just simply jot them down. So if you are like me and you have a little bit of trouble, you're already going, oh God, I can't remember everything I did in each month for this year. Well, pull out your handy dandy phone, which I'm sure if you're not listening on it, I'm sure it's pretty close to you, and go through your camera roll for each month. And then on top of that, use your social media. What other brilliant way to look back on 2020 and the year that it was by using those handy things. So you might want to pause here and go through each month and write down the events that happened in each month. So for me, off the top of my head, in February, my grandfather passed away. And just for, these are kind of personal ones. In March, it's my daughter's birthday, so we celebrated her 8th birthday. In April, it's my son's birthday. We celebrated his 5th birthday, things like that. In February, I launched this podcast in last year, and just go through all the months and put down whatever comes to you. Business and personal, all the things, just lump it right in together. And then once you're finished that, come back here and we will go on to the next step. Okay, so I am sure that you guys are a little bit amazed at how much stuff actually happened in 2020. And it is pretty incredible. Now what I want you to do is have a look at that paper, and we're actually going to take out another piece of paper, and we're going to go through those months and write out our highs and lows. So for me, some of my my highs would be for ones that I just said. Started my podcast in February, daughter's birthday March, son's birthday April. Some of the lows would be my grandfather passing away. So create 2 columns on your page and just start listing out which was good, which was bad. And once you have done that, so you might want to pause me right now so you can finish that. And then once you have done that, we're going to do a little exercise to help us let go of our lows so we can't sit there and stew on them anymore. Because we want to fully let go and step into 2021 with clear energies. So we are going to take our highs and lows piece of paper, and I want you to rip your paper in half. I want you to have one half with your highs and one half with your lows. And what we are going to do is I'm going to get you to burn your lows so that we can let them go. Now, if on your lows page, if you have, I was using the passing of my grandfather as a low, and I don't want to come across that you're letting that go. And what it is if it's a death, for example, and you're still grieving over them, that is 125 million% okay. But it can help to release the grief, and you're not letting the person go, you're still enjoying the memories and all that good stuff. It's just helping you to move on a little bit better, possibly. So with our lows page, we are going to burn it. And You can just use a lighter and burn it and let it go. Either do it above a sink or outside is good. You can also use if you have sage or cedar, you can also use wrap those up with it and release it that way, because sage helps to release negative energies, but cedar also does the same thing, and it's also said to attract good spirits as well. So go ahead and do that now, and when you're ready, come back, and I've got another fun little exercise here for you. So this next step that we're going to do is I want you to grab your phone and I want you to open up a text to someone. Whoever comes to mind first, and I want you to just type these words. Hey, I just wanted to say thanks. Now hit send before you lose your nerve. But how often do we actually show our gratitude for somebody and appreciate them for all that they've done for us? The fun part of this exercise is actually seeing, just leave it at that. Hey, I just wanted to say thanks, and hit send. The fun part comes when you get to wait and see what the responses are that you get back. Some people might be confused, like, for what? And it's just fun to see what comes out of this. You can send it to more than one person if you like. But it's about showing gratitude to the people that supported us in this last year. And yeah, I'm actually going to do that right now on the call. And hold on, I am just typing. And there we go. It's gone. So I just did mine as well. And okay. So this is kind of like a podcast episode full of fun little exercises and self-reflections. But the next exercise that we are going to do is we are going to look at our expectations. Because if you are anything like me, you hold yourself and others to a very high expectation. And we are going to have a look at those expectations just sort of as a reference point, because maybe you weren't even aware that you had this expectation of yourself or of others. But it just adds a little bit more pressure. Like if you have the expectation that everything you do in your business has to be perfect, it is like that's a lot of pressure to put on yourself. So again, we're going to get another piece of paper, divide that in two, and I want you to put yourself above one column and others above the other column, and start listing out the expectations that you have from other people or that you had this year. So once you have done that, depending on actually, if you no longer want to move forward with these expectations, I'm going to invite you to burn that paper as well. And So that's going to help us let go and fully step into 2021 with this lighter energy, this lighter vibration. Okay, now, once you have done that, we're going to look at a little bit of forgiveness work. So, this is an exercise so that we can let go of past hurts. Who do you need to forgive? And who... Okay, I just got my reply back, and sorry, I just saw this come in and I had to share it with you live on the this episode, but my thank you text that I just sent was to my coach Brittany, and her reply back was, "Thanks for what?" So it just goes to show, and I hope she listens to this podcast because she's gonna burst out laughing when she hears this. So I'll reply to that later, obviously, but so we can't move forward when we are carrying the extra baggage. So I'm going back to the forgiveness of past hurts. And this is huge. And actually, if you go back to my meditation I did 2 weeks ago on the podcast, you could also even add a rock of forgiveness to that meditation as well. Or the past hurts, I guess. Who do you need to forgive? Is it somebody in your business? Is it yourself? This one is huge. Do you ever forgive yourself? The second one, or is it maybe a family member or a friend for the way you feel that you were wronged in a relationship or something like that? This is a lot of journaling in this episode, but I invite you to write a letter to this person and explain how they hurt you, whether it's to yourself, to a family member, somebody in business, something like that. Now, before you go getting all excited that, oh no, I can't write this to them, it's going to cause so much pain, you're not actually going to give this letter to them. We are going to do the burning exercise again, because even though we're not giving them the letter, it's still releasing the energy around that situation because we're the ones holding on to it. The other person, if it's to another person, might not even know that you're still hurting inside. So I always like to look at myself first and take ownership in my relationship to this. So I want to let things go and clear that energy. So write a letter to this person, explain how they hurt you, and then burn your letter to let it go. You might want to hold on to the letter for a little bit, put it in an envelope, but when you're ready, you will let it go. Now that we have done some forgiveness work and letting go of past hurts and all those kinds of things, we are going to shift into gratitude. We are going to show gratitude for the people, situations, whatever you're feeling called to express gratitude to. When we express gratitude, that is one of the best ways to shift us into a feeling good vibration. And why not start the year off right in a gratitude vibe? So you can get fancy if you like and go buy a little card, or you can just simply do it in on a piece of paper, whatever you're feeling called to. But we are going to write thank you letters to people in our life who had an impact on us this past year. So begin to think about who you want to thank for all their support. Now, again, this could be your family, your friends, business coach, a client that maybe made an impact in your life. But I think when I wrote my thank you letter, I might have even wrote it to myself. We don't often give gratitude to ourselves either. So think about who you want to write it to, and I want you to start it off like this. Dear blank, you fill in the blank as to who it is addressed to. Without you, and then continue on the sentence. Without you, my success, however you want to word it, without you, this year, however you want to word it, whatever you need to say to them. And it is up to you whether or not you choose to give them this note. You may choose not to for some reasons, and you may choose to. Both are perfectly okay, because even if you choose not to give them that note, you are still putting the energy of gratitude out into the universe to that person, and I guarantee you that it is going to shift. It is going to shift something big. And you don't even have to stop at just one thank you note. You can go on a rampage with this if you like. And as I'm just reading my next point here, I did write a thank you note to myself because my next point is write a thank you note to yourself is your last and final task. And express gratitude for yourself and for all that you do, because you are amazing and we don't show our own selves enough gratitude. I hope you guys launch into 2021 with an amazing space, and even if you're doing this exercise after New Year's, that's totally cool too. Like, it all works. You can do this at any time, even any time in the year. It all works. I wish you guys an amazing New Year and welcome 2021. I can't wait to see what comes in this new year. I will see you guys next year. Punny. That's a little punny joke for you. I love punny jokes. Anyway, have an amazing week, and we will catch you next week. Thank you so much for listening. If you loved this episode, will you do me a favor and help spread the love? Go ahead and leave a 5-star review and share this episode on your Insta stories. If we aren't yet connected on Instagram, come follow me at Lesley & Co. XO. And since everybody spells my name wrong, that's Lesley & Co. XO. And leave me a line and say hi. Have an amazing day, beautiful, and we'll catch you next week.